Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you an audio shoutcast between Sky and Czech here on Twisted Meadows. This is game 2 of a best of 3 matchup between Czech and Sky. Sky did take game 1. We do have Czech now spawning on the top left hand corner as the red Night Elf player, getting an altar of elders, a moonwell, and now gonna set up an Ancient of War, most likely with this wisp over here to do some Ancient of War creeping over here at the mercenary camp. At the same time right now we have Sky now building an altar of kings, most likely going to get a barracks with the next peasant that's going to be popping out, and then trying to do some militia creeping against this goblin laboratory camp over here with probably 6 to 7 militia. So we're going to see in just a moment what exactly the strategies are going to be. We do have Sky in fact going the Archmage, so the Archmage is going to be the first hero of choice. And we do have a barracks currently being built. We should have a farm being built in just a moment, and now there is that secondary farm in order to produce some additional footmen. Ancient of War is nearing completion, and over here to the north, we will check it, is going to be a Warden as the hero. So Czech going with the Warden instead of the typical Demon Hunter on this matchup. A lot of players have been using Shadow Strike very effectively in order to take down the Archmage as a hero, so perhaps that is what Czech wants to do. We do have a speed building of a Scout Tower right now coming in from Sky, so Sky wants to get a tower up, perhaps an Arcane Tower, in order to push back any hero harass. And now with the Archmage popping out in just a moment, Archmage just popping out should drop a Water Elemental, continue walking over, and then use that time to call to arms militia right now. So gonna come in fact and bring over 7 or 6 militia right now. So right now Water Elemental should be getting in a position. The cool down on that Water Elemental should be done in just a second. And now trying to take down that Mud Golem first in order to not get any additional slows. Second Water Elemental is down, so trying to tank as much damage as possible. Over here we do have the Ancient of War now taking in damage, as well as units are going down left and right. Another boulder on the Archer, so the Archer is relatively low on hit points, has to be careful of another boulder. Ancient of War should probably start trying to eat some trees in order to generate some hit points right now. And that Rock Golem does fall, so we have a Mantle of Intelligence and a Potion of Invulnerability picked up. Archmage, in the meantime, does pick up a Sobi Mask, so a very nice item for the Archmage as he now heads over to the north in order to do some additional creeping or try to stop this or do some creep jacking. Czech now gets the level 2 on the Warden and does pick up a Forest Troll Priest in order to finish off this little creep camp over here. Warden's going to catch the Archmage creeping over here. No, the Archmage is not here, as just a Footman is taking there. Footman is going to take some Shadow Strike damage as he's trying to run away. The Warden should have no problem taking him down, as the Footman is a little bit slowed right now. We do have a secondary Footman coming out, and one more Shadow Strike should finish off this particular Footman in just a moment. Let's see if Czech's going to just another Shadow Strike, 1 or 2 more hits. But it may fall to the creeps instead. No, and the Footman does fall to the Warden. We do have militia creeping now over here, and what looks to be an expansion attempt coming in from Sky. So Sky trying to expand over here to the 7 o'clock position, dropping a Water Elemental, and we do have a Wisp in the mix. So the Wisp quickly does a detonate. Not quite sure why it did a detonate right there. It was not in range of the Archmage or any of the Water Elementals. Almost detonated the Bloodlust off of that Ogre Warrior, which would have been counterproductive for them. We do have an additional militia and Footman now coming in. We do have a Boots of Speed on the Archmage, so the Archmage does not need to head over to the Goblin Merchant Shop. We do have a Warden now coming in. The Warden is going to get in some additional damage on some of those units, perhaps a Shadow Strike on the Archmage. Archmage is now a little bit of trouble right now as he's trying to take down that Warden. We do have a Scout Tower being built, Potion of Invulnerability being used now, so very nice. And that Archmage is trying to run away, but it's going to take a lot of damage right now. Taking a lot of damage. Ooh, nice temporary surround coming in so that the Archmage can now get away with that Boots of Speed. And getting tripped up on some critters as well. So those pigs really causing a problem for that Archmage. Archmage now running to the north, trying to get out of there. The Warden is now, I'm not sure where he's going or where she's going, and the Archmage is going to be able to escape. We do have a single Water Elemental with 3 Footmen in play, trying to protect this expansion attempt right now. And the Warden's going to take some damage until she decides to go ahead and move away right now. It is going to hide right in there. So yes, Warden now coming back in, trying to come back in, do some additional damage. And now the Warden now trying to get off another Shadow Strike on that Peasant. The Peasant should not fall. Warden now trying to teleport back to the north. I believe it's back to the north. Yes, teleporting back to the north, getting in some additional moon juice, and now trying to move back out once more. Archmage now trying to run in as well, and Archmage does have a Staff of Teleportation for himself, so perhaps the Staff of Teleportation will be used effectively somehow. I do not know. We do have more Ancient of War creeping now coming in from Czech, so Czech trying to just creep with a single Archer and a Troll Shadow Priest and a Huntress right now. Ancient of War still over here to the south next to this mercenary camp, and doing double duty as being able to hire mercenaries and also produce some units of his own. We do have the Water Elemental of the Archmage now trying to come in, trying to do some additional damage as well. Picks up a Troll Shadow Priest. Troll Shadow Priest now trying to do some healing. We also have a Troll Berserker trying to take down that Rock Golem before that Water Elemental falls. The Water Elemental does fall, and now the units of Sky are now taking some damage. Archmage will not get to level 2, but does get a potion of greater mana and a Cloak of Shadows for all of his work there, so we'll be able to hide in the Nightfall with another Footman now taking some damage coming in from that Troll, that Forest Troll. No, it's actually on that one Footman right now, and we do have the Warden now going to be coming in. The Warden coming in with a single Huntress to the south, and it should be coming into this particular base right here, so we'll see what's going to happen. Meanwhile, back at the bases, Sky is still at Town Hall, most likely, yes, already at, or teching the Tree of Ages right now, coming in from Czech, so both players teching a little bit more slowly than normal, and now the Warden's now trying to come in, try to press in some additional damage, doing a Staff of Teleportation, and now additional Shadow Strikes now coming in. Ooh, nice Fan of Knives and a Shadow Strike, so taking down 4 of those peons relatively quickly, and taking down a Footman, so the Warden doing a really good job right now, just doing a lot of damage. The Warden's going to be in a little bit of trouble right now. No, it does not get surrounded into that position, and is now trying to run away. Does a Staff of Teleportation to head out of there, and that Fireball does miss him. Over here to the north, the Warden tries to regroup with the rest of her army, and is now trying to perhaps pick up some additional mercenaries. No additional mercenaries at this time, trying to head back to the north. We do have a Wisp and an Ancient of War getting ballistas now, or Glaive Throwers. So Glaive Throwers are now in the mix. Tree of Ages nearing completion, most likely going to start producing Ancient of Lores, perhaps dual Ancient of Lore. We do have a Clarity Potion being used by the Warden. The Warden quickly sells, I forget what that item was in that top right hand corner. So the Warden, it does sell, and is now going to once again push out right now. The Archmage, using the Arcane Vault, will get probably a Clarity Potion and a healing Scroll, and trying to do some healing as he will once again push out. The Archmage sitting at level 3, Warden sitting at level 3 as well. So both players sitting at level 3. We do have the True Shot Aura, so a very nice item on that Warden. And we have a Goblin Zeppelin in play. So Goblin Zeppelin now, a Troll Shadow Priest taking some additional damage. So, does not have level 2 Shadow Strike, but unfortunately that Troll Shadow Priest needs to start healing himself, otherwise he does fall, so he heals another unit instead of himself, and it does go down. We do have the Goblins Zeppelin now getting focused down, units going down left and right. Warden now trying to do some additional damage, and ooh, nice Archmage gets to level 4. We'll get level 2 Brilliant Auras as those Water Elementals are trying to do some additional damage. One of the Troll Shadow Priests do go down for Czech, and Czech is going to be forced to once again push back out. We do have a couple Huntresses in play. Footman now trying to run to the back, and now the army is going to trying to retreat and regroup to the north. We do have I do not see any Ancient of Lores yet. This is, no wait, Ancient of Lore over here, so Czech building his buildings a little bit out of position. Very difficult for me to track them, but we do have only a single Ancient of Lore, and Glaive Throwers now coming out, so Glaive Throwers will be pushing out in just a second. We do have a Water Elemental coming in, trying to do some additional damage. Will not be able to finish off this one Huntress, even though it does do very good piercing damage. Trying to head over here to the creep camps, and the Water Elemental, gets a level 4 on the Warden. Stay tuned for part 2 and the conclusion of this replay between Czech and Sky here on Twisted Meadow.